can you see my bloodshot eyes?
Ricky, what is going on?
Well, Ricky's on the road again.
Oh my goodness, Ricky travels.
So this is the week that we're moving the girls into in college. Okay, so one is in an apartment and the other is going to be dorm. So yesterday we moved the one that's in apartment in. So we're still here trying to tweak that, and then Tuesday we'll turn around and come right back up here to move Reese in the dorm. So
Ricky, you take on too much.
I don't ever stop.
My goodness.
But look, Robbie, you know I've been going to IKEA and doing all these crazy things, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, so somewhere I did not take on the depth of what I was working with. Okay, so I had measurements, I knew, wall spacing, I knew all this stuff, but not the depth. Literally have a 7-foot couch, like I had it all planned out. Walked in, and that room is 200 square feet that I'm working with.
Ricky. Well, I remember you had like the whole interior design format going on. Oh my God.
But look, I mean, amazingly, I got everything I wanted is there, and it's like I thought I would want it, but it's still just.
Now this is off campus or on campus?
So she's off campus. So I'm actually staying at a friend's place. It's called, well, you could probably see the bulldog behind me, but this is Cowbell Cottage, because they do cowbells with Mississippi State. So we're at State, and I'm staying in a little cottage here.
How cute.
Yeah, so because we didn't want to stay in the 700 square foot apartment. So
you didn't? You passed on that opportunity?
Yeah. But it was really late when we got in last night, and we still have some work to do. So but anyway, we're going to tackle that this afternoon.
When are you headed back home?
Okay, so tomorrow, so that we can turn around and get the trailer packed again, because Ryan took the trailer home, and now we're going to repack it and bring it back again.
Oh, Ricky. Mm-hmm. Lordy, girl.
So, needless to say, we like our leggings. We like our liquor. Like, I started about 3:00 yesterday when I walked in that place. I was like, oh, I need a glass of wine, and I need one quick. I don't know how to do this.
So what about you? Online?
Huh?
Are her classes online?
So right now they're going to be 3 and 3. Like both girls right now have 3 in person and 3 online. That's what I was fixing to ask you. What did they decide to do with you guys?
So Alexis, she's at UT Knoxville.
Right.
And all of hers just happen to be online. They are having classes there, but her schedule just is all online. It's her senior year. So like all the business classes. And then my kids, they are like the option. You can choose distance learning or go to school. So I have made the choice to do distance learning.
Robbie!
I know. Really, they get to watch the teacher, so that's a good thing. But I'm going to do that at first. You just choose like 9 weeks, and you can change it. So I'm going to just kind of see how it all plays out. I was just like, well, I'm at home, so if I can, then I figured it's when, less people they have to worry about in the school.
Yep.
So we'll see how it goes. Who knows?
Smart choice. But and I totally could do that with Cruz, but with Banks, like he's got to go. So he's he's the baby and he's all boy. So I'm like, I think he'd be better in that situation, but I totally could do that with Cruz.
Well, and Trenton, he's my 19-year-old, but it's his senior year. Mm-hmm. So he's at school. He's at a private school, so there wasn't an option. But he's going, and they've been fine so far. They actually started a week ago. So they've been going and just wearing their mask all day.
Yep. So, well, did you hear that Mississippi is like the fastest? Like we're the next hot spot.
I saw.
Okay.
You're all in the news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all in the news, Ricky. All in the news.
I know.
Oh,
here we go.
I know. Well, speaking of all of these kids, we have an exciting guest today. Her name is Ansley. And so we're going to chat with her and learn about the role of single momhood. And then she is also a leadership coach for lots of direct sales companies. And even, I've looked at her stuff. She's got free downloads available. You really could use it in different areas, not just direct sales at all. It's just great info. But we are so excited to have her on. So I'm going to bring her in. Hey, Ansley.
Hello.
Hey, Ansley.
Hi. I'm so excited.
I am so intrigued, so curious to hear, how you have remained a single mom and started your own business. I'm really excited about this show because I think that your story could really speak to a lot of people. So I'm excited that you're here.
Well, I'm bananas, obviously, because I decided to do that in the middle of a pandemic. So there's that. You know, I've been a single mom my daughter's entire life, really, since she was about 9 months old. And I was telling you guys before we hopped on here that, you know, she's been literally a part of every career I've had for the last 13 years. I was telling them my water broke when I was at work, working for a private airline. You know, she used to come to work with me. I was telling her, like, I'm nursing her in the hangar.
Oh my gosh.
I got into direct sales 6 years ago, and she was on my YouTube channel. We would do direct design inspiration of our bracelets, and she would hop on with me. She's been part of team calls. And when this pandemic hit, I was like, well, it's time to do something for me. And she has been this incredible part of it. So I'm sure we'll dig into it, but, you know, for me as a mom, the best thing I could have ever done was have her be a part of everything that I've done for the last 13 years. And she's got skills that, like, I don't have.
That's right.
Yeah.
I know.
Before Robbie and I came on, we were talking about the little picture that you have up, and you were mentioning that your daughter took that. I was like, my kids don't have that kind of skill. Like, I get the ugly, like, random Snapchat pictures, you know, that they take of me, and I'm like, I'm never going to be able to use that. So
no, and look at this one. It's so good. It's like a professional photo.
Isn't it fabulous? I needed headshots, and we're in the middle of a pandemic, y'all. What was I supposed to do? So I sat down with her. I was like, hey, kiddo, you're playing with mommy's nice camera.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to, like, try and do photography of me? And I bought a course that would show her, like, how to pose people.
Oh my goodness.
And she took it, and she's like, all right, Mom, I'm ready. So we did a mini photo shoot here in the house.
I love it.
Madness. Right? How fun is that?
Well, you're very fortunate, because I don't know that I could get my kids to cooperate like that. So
I know. It's like, I told them, I said, they always make it look like my face is like a big potato. It's like all face. Like, I'm like, no.
Trust me, there were outtakes that we'll never.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so you've told us a little bit about yourself, but like, tell us what you were doing before you got pregnant, and then you got pregnant, because you're a single mom, and you know, just how things have evolved for you.
Yeah, so I was a corporate flight attendant, so I was on private planes, and I got pregnant with my daughter. She's amazing. So I flew for a few more months, and then eventually obviously had to come off the road, because you can't really fly when you're, you know, 7, 8 months pregnant. Time to stop. So I took an office position. And I'll tell you, like, back then, her dad and I stayed together until she was 9 months old, and then we split. And she was very sick her first year of life. Very, like, in and out of hospitals. She's completely healthy now, but we had a lot of struggle. She had a couple surgeries, and my job back then was incredibly demanding. Like, I look back at pictures now of her as a baby, and my BlackBerry is in literally every picture. I was tied to my phone in ways. For those of you who are direct sales people, or those who are any sort of business, you know how tied we are to our phones, right? And even for that business, we're constantly checking the gram, right?
Yeah.
This was like a whole different, like, I mean, back then it was like, I couldn't go anywhere without my phone. I was getting calls at 2:00 in the morning from aircraft owners who were asking for limos to pick them up from the whatever, you know how rich people are crazy.
Hey, don't say that about me.
I'm just so sorry. Right. No. Keep the persona. She, you know, it was tough, but I was, you know, on call constantly. And so I actually took a few years off. Market crash. People stopped flying private planes.
Right, yeah.
I moved about an hour and a half away. So her dad and I split 50-50, 1 week on, 1 week off. I was an hour and a half away. We'd drive halfway to meet each other, you know, swap her between the two of us. And I took a couple years to kind of, you know, decompress and spend some time with her for a couple of years there. We lived in my mom's house. So for anyone who's moved back in with their parents as an adult, it's really fun. Let me tell you.
Yes, I'm sure.
And my mom was my best friend, but dear God, like, we got to the point where it was like, I got to move out. It's time to move out.
Best friend, not roommate.
Yeah, exactly. And we moved back up here when she was about 4 years old. And at that point, you know, I started to get into corporate world. So I've worked for a couple Fortune 500 companies in sales, right? Legit, like, major sales, which is crazy. And as my daughter has gotten older, she's been a part of literally everything, right? She was showing up at the aircraft hangar with me. She was going to class with me in college. I went back to school. She was showing up, like, strapped to my hip, like, here's my 2-year-old in a college class. Like, sorry, I'm a single mom. She's got to come with me. And, you know, everybody adjusts. They're like, okay, cool, great. She's a good, well-behaved kid. I worked for a television show for a few years. She'd come on set and like do the clapper thingy. I mean, I had to say, look, I'm a single mom. I love my child. I have an incredibly supportive co-parent, right? Her dad is amazing, but I also have to be responsible for the time that she's with me. But I can't not work. I can't not do the things that I'm responsible for. So she just became a part of it. She comes with me. And as she's gotten older, she starts to have really good conversations with me about my job. Mama, did you sell something today? I mean, she still to this day asks, Mama, how many deals did you sell today? You know, when I earned President's Club for the first time, she's running around the house screaming, Mommy did it, because she knew exactly how much. She knew exactly how many deals I had to close, the dollar amount that had to happen. My kid tracks my stuff better than I do sometimes.
I love it.
Like I said, 6 years ago, I got into direct sales, and she's almost 13 now. So what that makes her, I can't do math in my head, 7 at the time, 6, 7. And we would do YouTube videos together. And for any of you, right, your daughter was just hanging out in the back. I think it was your daughter, right? Hanging out behind you.
I was for a minute and I'm like, get out.
Right? We're like, wow, we're live. You're not saying the right thing. Stop talking, right? We've all done it. We've all done it.
I don't care. We're live.
So like, we have outtakes of like these YouTube videos that I used to do way back when. They're not up anymore because I'm not with that company. But I'm like, well, you know what? We're just gonna roll with it. It's all personality. If she's gonna be quirky and say something weird, she's my daughter. Like, she's me. Right. And so she used to joke about how she thought she was on television. I'm on TV, and my team would know who she was. She'd show up on team calls. So she became a part of the culture. People expected to know who she was, and she knew their names. That was really important to her. And so when this whole pandemic happened, I made a big corporate job shift. I changed, corporate companies, and I started to make a shift in my direct sales career. And I realized I wanted to give back to the community in a better way. I wanted to become a coach to leaders of any direct sales company, provide them the resources that I was creating way back when. Right. And I sat with her at the beginning of this thing. I bought a course. It's like an 8-week intensive how to build a membership. And I said, kiddo, we're not telling anyone, but Mom is starting a business. And she goes, like a real one? And I was like, yeah, we're not joining another company. Like, we are from the ground up, we're building something. And she goes, okay, Mom, all right, that's cool. And so for a few weeks, right, I'm taking the classes, I'm building the things, I'm building a brand, I'm building a website. She comes home one night, and I'm talking about launch. Now, mind you, we haven't spent a whole lot of time talking about it. She just knows it's happening. And she sits on the couch with me and she goes, hey, Mommy, how's your business going? I said, you mean like Leader Squad? She goes, yeah, Mom, how's it really going? I said, oh my gosh, kid, like, we're working on launch. And she goes, well, can you show me what you're doing? I said, okay. So I pulled up my laptop and we pulled up the website, and I started to explain to her what the business is and what we're building. And I had just gotten our LLC paperwork. We just gotten our bank account set up. Like, we're like legit. It's happened. And I'm like, kid, like, it's real. And she goes, Mommy, you're a real business owner now. And I'm starting to cry, right? Tears are coming down my face. I'm like, okay. She goes, well, can you show me more? What does it mean? We're talking about freebies, right? She's like, well, why do you give those away? I said, well, so that now I have a way to contact people. It's called an opt-in. Transparency, right? When you go to my website, you download a freebie, you're giving me your email address, and I'm going to email you. And hopefully you like me and you stick around. No, that's okay. So she's like, well, what is it? Why? Why do you do that? Okay, what's the marketing behind that? Which social media channels are you on? I mean, she starts diving in. How many members do we need in order to be profitable? Here is my soon-to-be 13-year-old kid asking me how many members to be profitable. And I was like, we're talking like real business strategies with my 12-year-old. Amazing. Yeah. And so she goes, Mom, I want to build your TikTok channel. And I was like, all right.
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw on your Instagram where you tracked your members, and on a wall, the two of you did, like with Post-it notes or something. I was like, oh, so adorable. Like, she just seems to look at that. Yes, there it is.
Yes, I love it.
They're still up.
Yeah. Well, that is awesome.
Yes, Ansley. And I know you mentioned your flight attendant as well. And I just want to know, there's got to be a crazy story in there, especially doing corporate. Like private jets.
They are, like, I have seen, There's so many stories, but like, I think when I was flying, the only famous person I ever flew, I was really more corporate, but the only famous person I flew was Jason Biggs. Now, this was before Orange is the New Black. So this was back when you're the American Pie guy. Like,
right. Yeah.
Okay, cool, hi. And he was very nice. His entourage, mind you, 2 planes. This guy's not even an A-lister, right? He's like a D-lister. Sorry, Jason Biggs, if you ever watch this, apologize.
I have a feeling he tunes into our show
daily.
He totally does. If he doesn't, he's going to now. He's
exactly.
And his people were so obnoxious, but like we flew people, Beyonce, we had a crazy story with P. Diddy. This was back when I was managing the planes, and we were freaking out because my flight attendant is calling me going, Ansley, he has taken a golf cart and he is driving around the tarmac. We're in LA, or not, no, we're in Vegas, Las Vegas. Yeah. And they're like, we don't know what to do because, one, you can't do that. FAA regulations only allow so many people to have access to certain parts. And he is joyriding around
on the
multi-million-dollar planes because he, paid some guy some cash. He's like, here, can I take that so I could just go joyriding? And he did. It was a whole, we got to move the plane. Our plane can't come back to this particular terminal because we're banned all of a sudden.
Oh, God.
Joyriding.
So yeah, that was that. Of course, you're fielding that phone call from your flight attendant at 10 o'clock going, I'm really glad I'm not flying anymore.
Well, and that's the thing, is you said, I just couldn't do that anymore. It was a lot, especially being a single mom. So what made you decide to do direct? We know you do Leadership Squad now, so you're in a whole nother business, but what made you decide direct sales initially?
Well, because it's so flexible. It's one of the coolest industries to ever be in because it allows you to have a business right out of the box. It allows you to say, you know what? I want to dabble. I want to dip my toes in. I want to make extra money. And your upfront investment, regardless of which company, is nothing compared to truly building from the ground up. And you get products and you get support and you get a website and you get community.
Yeah.
So as a single mom,
that's huge.
Who do you think I needed? I needed people. I needed women around me all the time. And so it originally started as I needed to make a little extra money. I was at the time dating somebody in a different state. He had just moved. And so we were doing long distance. And I was like, I could use a couple hundred extra bucks a month. And it turned into, we were the first director team in Arizona. It turned into this complete shift of who I was as a person, right? I've learned so much more about leadership in direct sales than I ever have in corporate world, right? Because you have to learn how to talk to the women around you and get them excited to do something when you're not their boss. I can't be Bonnie, your sales are down, girlfriend. I need you to pick it up or you're out. It doesn't work that way.
No.
I got to get you excited to do it. But it started out as making extra money, and y'all know it's flexible. We all talk about having our phones around us all the time, and it's fun. You get to talk about products you love. You get to sell them, make a little extra money, and you get to do something for yourself. And so it started as something for myself that I needed and turned into what I've been doing for the last 6 years, and a huge part of my life. Obviously, I'm building another business on top of it.
Yep.
That's something my daughter's been super involved in. It's pretty cool.
Well, that's awesome.
That's crazy. Yes, that is awesome. And like you said, we are on our phone, so we might as well make our phone work for us. Put it to work.
Why the heck not? We're already telling people where our favorite restaurants are.
I know.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the midst of this. We're telling them where our favorite takeout places are.
That's the truth.
We ask for recommendations all the time, or we share a recommendation. So why not make a little money selling the things you love? Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I love that your daughter got so involved.
Yeah.
As well. That's awesome, the impact that she's had. Now, as far as even with the other community of women, what's some advice that you can give them as far as, taking that leap and starting their own business? What's some advice that you give when you're coaching and kind of helping them through this new adventure?
Go for it. Hashtag
Yeah.
do it scared, right? You're going to be terrified. I'm going to be straight up. Your first live, your first email, your first party, your first, all of it will be terrifying in the very beginning. And that's completely normal. But I tell my squad all the time, and it's my favorite thing to say, and that is just show up for yourself. And here's why that matters. Show up for yourself. You all know that we cannot fill our cup. If our cup is not full, we cannot fill up other people's cups. Yeah. And direct sales and whichever, right? Building your own business. I don't care if it's doing a job, whatever it is you're trying to do for yourself. When you show up for you, when you make that conscious choice to say, I am worth doing more, I am worth saying yes to myself, you can fill up so many other people's cups, and your kids are watching, right? My daughter is watching, and it's because
you just filled mine by saying that. Just show up for yourself.
Just show up for yourself.
It's the truth, though. We forget so many times to show up for ourselves, and that's such good advice. Like, and that's the truth. When you are starting a business, you do have to show up. You've got to show up.
We talk mom guilt, right? Mom guilt is like prevalent in our minds every day. And I could tell you that I got it all nailed out. I certainly don't. None of us do, right? No. My mom used to have a saying that as long as you were a good parent, 51% of the time, you were covered.
Yes, okay? You're good.
So when she was having a bad day, we'd be like, she's in her bad 49s. Okay, walk away from mom. Walk away from mom. But
don't ask a question right now. Wait till later.
Yeah. Go ahead. Mom's in a bad 49s. Let it go. Let it go. You know, as long as you're 51% of the time, you're good. But, you know, the thing about showing up for yourself is you are just more present for your kids when you're ready to be. You're more present for your spouses and your significant others and your friends. Yeah. You're more there for your teams. You're more there for your coworkers. You're just more there for everybody else around you when you take the time to say, this is for me, and I gotta show up and do it because there's a deeper why inside of me that is more than providing for my children. Because why do you want to provide for your children? Right? Why does that matter? And as you dig deeper into that, you're like, whoa. There's some meat in there that we got.
Therapy session. Ainsley's basically giving therapy in her life.
That's my squad. I make them get like deep initially.
Yes.
Like, she ain't messing around. I'm like, no. You're here.
The whole notion of I could just use some extra cash is like way deeper than that. So it's pretty awesome when you discover that.
Yeah. It's so much more fun, right? And then then the do it scared, it just becomes part of like growing, right? Because once you've done it, you're like, oh, that's not scary. Like, come on here. I'm like, I'm gonna talk to two strangers who are amazing, by the way. But I was like, I'm going live, and they're gonna ask me all these questions. Today, like, and I've been doing this a long time. Like, I still get scared, but you grow from that. And again, it's still showing up for yourself in some way, shape, or form because it's making you a stronger human and a stronger woman. Right? I'm all female power all day long. I'm all about the ladies. I don't like, not that I don't let men into the squad. I was like, this isn't your place. We're all like pink and rose gold glitter.
Right.
Yeah. You really want to come hang out in my personal space? I don't think so.
Well, they may one day. The pink and glitter is not going to bother them.
I'll welcome them in with open arms.
You'll be on top of the world, and they're just going to have to come.
They're like, we need what she has.
We drink wine, lots of wine. So it's how we roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we know that. Okay, you mentioned TikTok a minute ago, so let's talk TikTok for a minute because, and we know that you're a coach. So, as a coach of direct sales, and I've heard, and you can maybe confirm this, like, TikTok is probably the next upcoming like platform for direct sales, women and men, however you want to put it. So what's your take on that? And like, do you feel like women, we need to get more familiar with TikTok, or, because I'm going to tell you, I'm familiar with it. I get sucked in it. And then I'm like,
my day's blown.
An entire day. Even if I'm like, okay, today I'm going to make a TikTok, and that takes like all day. And finally I was like, whoa, hold up a minute. Like, I got to go back. So you tell us about TikTok and what do you think about it?
When I learned how much rhythm I don't have in TikTok, I'm like, hang on, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I don't know what I'm doing. Are you kidding? So here's my advice on social media in general, right? Is find a platform and a medium that you want to start with, whichever one that happens to be. What are you most comfortable with? And then, once you feel like you got that nailed, you move on to the next one. And so when these new like emerging things come out, like even Instagram just came out with their like basically their knockoff of TikTok and Instagram stories. And I'm watching everybody like do I need to jump over there and do that? And we start to freak out like, oh my God, I'm missing this amazing opportunity. What do I do? Take like 10 deep breaths, go sit in the corner, have a minute for yourself, and then come back and like, now let's chat. But so TikTok has, I am just now starting to understand it because I have a 12-year-old who gets it. Like, she was like, Ma, I was never good. I don't care how cool TikTok was going to be. I was not branching out that way. I was like, I got Instagram and Facebook right now. Mama can't do much more, right? Let's focus this way. And she goes, I'll do it, Mom. I'll be your social growth director. And I will do your channel. And so she's one like behind the scenes doing videos. She's the one like, hey Mom, did you do an IG live? Great, because now I need a copy of it. Can you send it to me so I can take snippets of it and put it on TikTok? So what she is doing is she's repurposing what you're already doing elsewhere. So if you're getting ready to get started, the best thing that you can do on any channel is to just repurpose what you've already done to fit that channel. So like, as much as I want to go learn crazy dances on TikTok and be like the coolest TikTok mom ever, it ain't happening. Let's do it. Yeah. And I'm all for like income producing activities. Like, and it can be fun, right? I'm on Instagram for fun. Like I want to look at what my friends are doing and I want to follow all the celebrities and do all the cool things. And then when you sit down to do the work, this is where I like for every mom out there who has a job or does anything, candidly, which we do everything, time block, like find your time and go, okay. So when you're like getting down the TikTok rabbit hole, you set a timer for yourself. Where you're like, I have 30 minutes to put them together or walk away. Or I want to spend that 30 minutes goofing off in there. Totally fine, right? Yeah. But like time block yourself. So I think TikTok has some major potential. It does. I don't totally understand all of it yet. I have a 12-year-old who's figuring it out for me. But she's telling me that like we get more views on our TikTok videos than on anything else I do. And I don't
really. Like
what?
It's because of who you hired.
So how does that in turn help you, as someone who's a viewer, what does that do for you?
So it's exposure, right? So whenever you start a business, right, or you start your own direct sales company, or you launch a new career in anything, right? It's all about awareness of what you do. Because you want people to associate you with whatever it is you're trying to do. So I want the awareness to be like, oh my gosh, there's a leadership coach for direct sales leaders. Who would have thought? There's tons of other coaches out there that are incredible at what they do, but like I'm leader specific. Like if you want to build a team or you have a team, let's talk about how to actually make you the most effective, amazing rock star leader so that you can climb the ladder to all the things. Right. But that awareness, right, it starts at like when you get on these channels, it's all about awareness. It's building a brand around yourself. It's not necessarily to convert people to sales yet. Like when you're first getting started, all you're doing is building an awareness around who you are. And so I recommend
getting them to know you more personally. I think it just kind of builds that conversation of trust.
It's trust and personality, right? Like your personality needs to be on like full effect, ladies. Get it out there. People want to love who you are.
Yeah.
We need to do TikTok, Ricky.
Oh boy.
I think you do. And I'm not going to lie to you. If your kids have it, any one of your children, ask them for tips.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so what is your daughter's name?
Her name is Braylon.
Like to me,
can we hire her?
Braylon is your biggest cheerleader, and you've obviously instilled so much in her that, I mean, you should just be so proud of not only the mom that you are, but just everything that she's given you and taught you. And I mean, it's amazing. So
it's mind blowing to me. And when I look at her now and the skills that she's picking up from me, my daughter is going to move into the world as an adult with skills rooted in what I have taught her by watching me work.
Right.
And that's why
you work. That's what they are picking up. Like so we have so many of you, right? We're so afraid to let our kids see what we're doing because, like work time is work time, right? I don't want you in my lab. Like, go away.
Right.
I mean, she walked in a Zoom the other day with a 950 employee company, like a massive account that I'm working on selling. And my kids in the background are like, well, there's my daughter. Go ahead, say hi at this point. Yeah. I'm embracing the crazy, but and like your kids are watching you. So don't be afraid to do the work with them. Like, don't be afraid to be like, hey, put stamps on these catalogs I'm mailing out, or hey, you want to sit with me and like talk about. And to be fair, some of your kids are like, no,
yeah.
My daughter's like, no, Mom, I don't want to do anything with you right now.
Right.
But the more that you talk about it,
you want to make a TikTok.
So I need to make a TikTok. How do I do that? And they're going to be like, you want to do what, Mom? All right. Well, And then they're going to start talking about things and you're like, none of that makes sense. Back up to the beginning. Can you help me do my first TikTok? Like, that's going to start. Like, can you help me just do the first step?
Right.
And like, then you can text them and you're like, okay, so now I did that. What do I do next? Like, what do I do?
Right. Oh gosh.
Well, are you paying her?
She will get paid. She will get paid. Not yet. She's getting there. We're getting to the point. Like, so she knows profitability.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this very first year and where we need to be so that she and I are taking home like actual money from the business, right? Because when you first launch like not a direct sales business, right? Because you can be profitable within like a month.
Right.
There's so much more investment that's going into it. And so we've talked numbers. So she knows exactly the amount of parts that have to be on the back of the wall so that we're getting paid. And it's funny because now she's talking about, look, well, mommy, could I launch my own digital sticker design business? Like, could I have a subscription to do that? Yeah, kid. So we sat down, no joke, the other day, and I was like, well, you have to have 12 months planned out of content. I need your 12 months themes of stickers done. Like, you don't have to make them yet, but you need to know exactly what you're going to deliver over the next 12 months in order to make this something that you could do sustainably. And she's like, okay, mom, I can do that. And so she's over there on her iPad, like writing her notes down. So she will get paid, like, but she knows what we together have to do in order to make that happen. And that is like business skills that I just never.
Exactly. Yes.
We're looking at launching a podcast. She has to learn how to do, like, you have to learn how to do that. I don't know how to do that. So do the work.
Did you ever see yourself becoming this human that you are? A mom? No, it's evolved.
Do any of us really like, we joke about like what do we want to be when we grow up? And, you know, as moms, right, our life changes drastically the minute we have children. I mean, I had my daughter at 23. So I look back and I'm like, it's been her and I growing up together. I had her young, you know, I wasn't 16, but I was 23 is not. I'll look at 23-year-olds now and I was like, please do not have children. Do it. You are not ready. You know, so we've grown up together in this really crazy way. And I was raised by a single mom, and I watched my mom go from my parents were married for 20 years. They got divorced when I was 8. And my mom had to figure out how to do it herself with my brother and I. We moved across the country from my dad. I watched my mom get her bachelor's, her master's, and her PhD. Over the course of years. So like I watched my mom go after her own dreams after putting them on hold for, you know, her life. Right. And she has no regrets, but watching her do that, I was like, wow. I mean, you stop and you go, look at what we are capable when we show up for ourselves.
Yep.
Right.
And what that inspires in your children. And now like, I need to now do that. So I never would have imagined that I would be sitting here owning my own business that I built from the ground, like, from nothing. Right. And going, oh, I did that. And my kid now gets to be this, like, you know, she's my co-pilot and all that. We talk about her being this part of my business. And so it's really cool to go, now it's a learning moment, right? It's a teachable moment. And every time I sit down to do business, it's like, hey kid, let's talk about it together. And it started because
every aspect of your business, it's like led you to where you are. Like the flight attendant kind of, you know, got you used to talking with people, then the direct sales. And if you hadn't have done that, you wouldn't be able to start this leadership. So it's neat how they all played a part. It's awesome.
Everything that you do shapes you. Everything that you do.
I agree. Yep.
Is she nearby? Let's see her.
She's in school.
Y'all
here. But like we started school last week. Otherwise she would totally be on.
Y'all already started school. Oh my goodness.
I started school a week ago and we're in the distance learning mode.
Yes. I'm about to start it.
Like, it's definitely way too early to be drinking. 5 o'clock somewhere though, right?
It was yesterday. It was yesterday for me.
I think first of all, you'll need to change the show to be in the evening so that it's completely acceptable for happy hour to be happening at the same time. Given your name.
Special.
But
yeah.
Yeah, they do. There's a talk show where they do partake every now and then. So it's coming. It's coming, Robbie.
Okay.
I like that. Do it right. Good Morning America. I don't know. Is it the Today Show? I think Kathy Lee and Hoda. They got wine at 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's go.
That's where I was going. Yeah.
There you go.
She's literally like distance learning, right? Laptop in front of her. And I'm like, okay, I'll just shut the door and we make talk. And it's great. Good for her. But, you know, so unfortunately she's in school and I'm trying to be a good mom and not pull her out.
Yes.
Maybe I'll text her.
That's where we struggle. Yeah, for sure. Well, I think you have got it. You do what you keep doing because whatever you're doing is working and you're teaching her some really valuable lessons. And so I want to see her face though. Make sure you share a picture of her.
Hold on, I'm gonna just text her from her bedroom.
Oh, she's in school at home.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's at home. Distance learning. So she's in her bedroom with like laptop up, doing schoolwork. So I'm gonna see if I can pull her away. I think Monday last week. So we're now in week 2. Robbie, here's my advice. You need to have a cheat sheet from the school on how to handle technical issues. Where do you go when you have to reset a password? Because you can't like reset a password like normally because it's all a district wide. You need to have a cheat sheet for how to handle tech issues when they happen.
There you go, people. There's your tips. Whoever's listening, there's your tip. Get the technical sheets.
We got her locked out on like day like the second week of school, like Monday, and I was like, what do we do?
Yeah. Well, okay. So when you said she's in school, I totally thought she went somewhere. I was happy about that. When she just
I'm in Arizona. I know you're all talking about how you're the hotbed next in Mississippi, Arizona. Beat you to it a while ago. So
Tennessee too.
We're kind of a mess right here. So they were supposed to go back potentially the 17th. And now the schools are saying, obviously, that was an unrealistic expectation. So we are knee deep in distance learning. My mom works for a school district in Arizona. It's further south than here. And what they are doing behind the scenes for kids to do online learning is absolutely incredible, but not every school district is created equally. So, Mama Bear's coming out a little bit on, how to handle what's happening with her school, because I ain't real happy about it. But, again, it's not the teacher's fault. It's
right.
Let me say, not the teachers. Teachers are like, what? What do we do? How do we handle it? So, yeah, it's been interesting.
So when she's in school right now, like she just stays in her room and does her thing all day, like she's not at home. Is that how you work it?
Pretty much. So she laughs at Dad's house. He interrupts her all day. So he keeps like poking in, like, "How's it going, kid? How's school? Do you have any questions?" And she's like, "Dad, Mom." She's like, "Mom." He's like lurking behind me. So I was like, "Okay." She goes, "But at your house, I know you'll just leave me alone." I said, "Well, yeah." So we, the door, she'll be done to 11. So they only do 3 classes a day. So they're done by 11. And so I was like, okay, I got to go work. So I work. We've had to make major changes to where we work in the house. And my office is now in my bedroom, which candidly, can I tell you, the vibe is amazing in here. So it makes me happy. And she works in her bedroom. And I told her, like, okay, so you got class. I've got, the interview with the girls. The dogs are somewhere in the living room, probably tearing apart my house. We're not gonna worry about it right now.
Right.
And that's what we do. She's like, "I like your house better, Mom, because you give me space. Just go do your schoolwork and then we'll do your homework afterwards because I have no idea what I'm doing." She's in math right now. Do y'all know math?
Oh, not this math. I know. Yeah.
Same.
Like your tens, your hundreds, and I'm like, oh my goodness, why do we have to separate all these numbers?
Yeah, I use spreadsheets now. Like, please don't make me actually like calculate anything. I'm going to use a spreadsheet for that. So she's in another room. We pretend like she's not here, and she tends to stay in there. Like she'll stay until 11. I just text her, like, "Come on in here." She's like, "I'm in math, Mom. I can't." And I was like, "Go girl, go girl."
At least she didn't give in to the peer pressure of her mom trying to get her out of class.
So clearly I have raised her well. She's like, "Wow, I have school right now."
Get math. We are live with Ricky and Robbie.
Right? She was so mad she missed it. It's fine. She'll get over it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Not a replay. So.
Yes. Well, real quick, Ansley, what is from a leadership coach? What is a quote that you can give and that you like to share with your moms or whoever is jumping into this direct sales business and learning from you?
Robbie. Show up for yourself.
I was going to say, I knew it.
Show up for yourself. It's literally all I want you to do. I want you to show up for yourself.
Yeah.
In any way that you possibly can.
Every day.
Every day. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be like big, scary things. Like, just show up. Just show up. Yep. I know. It's simple, but like, you kind of can't forget it now, right?
I got it.
Hashtag mantra in your head. Just be like, oh, there's Ansley again telling me to show up for myself.
Show up.
Come on, girl.
Show up today. I got to show up.
Gotta show up.
Well, it has been a blast to have you, Ansley. Oh my goodness. It's been so much fun. And we do have a fun little section that we call the Mama Madness. And it's like a lot of rapid fire questions that just first thing that comes to your head, that type of thing. So we are going to spit those out to you and see what you have to say.
All right, I'm ready.
So, what is your favorite time of the day? Morning, noon, or night?
Ooh, I'm a night owl, but I also
Are
like
you?
sleep, so that's really tough. I'm not a
Yeah.
morning person. You cannot wake me up in the morning. No,
I'm
thank
not a
you
morning
very
person.
much. But I'm like early evening. I get so much done, and then I like to sleep. So, but that's because I just sleep in instead. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm a night owl.
Night. I'm night. What are you, Ricky? I know you're night.
Yeah. I'm up all night. Yeah.
Oh
But I love to sleep. So, but that's the luxury of what we do. We can make our own hours. So, and
Right,
especially,
exactly.
like, with the distant learning thing, I'm like, I guess I better set an alarm. Like, we could totally sleep all day and do this all night.
Right.
Same. I'm with you.
Well, Ansley, okay, so what is your favorite show that you're binging right now? Do you have one?
I feel like I have watched all of Netflix.
I know. That's why I need some shows. That's why I was asking.
So, have you watched Cursed?
No.
Y'all. Okay, so it's like this. To be fair, I've probably now watched it 3 times because hello, can't tell me there's nothing else to do during the day when I'm working. Shh, don't tell my boss. It's the story of The Sword and the Stone, but it features a girl as the center of the story, like coming into her power. Super cool show, fabulous. It's amazing. So I'm a big fan of Curse. If you ever saw 13 Reasons Why, it's Hannah, the girl that plays Hannah is actually the main character. She does a phenomenal job.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. I'm always looking to add to my list.
Okay.
Add it. It's awesome.
So if you could live anywhere in the world, where and why?
That's like the toughest question.
I know.
So I'm gonna two-part it. So if I could spend my summers living in Alaska, which is where I'm from, I would be in heaven. I don't want to live there forever though. Like I love Alaska. I love to go for the summer. Like get me on the sailboat. We're good. I'm happy. And then I would probably split my time after that. You're gonna laugh at me. I would live in Budapest. So I went to Budapest for a President's Club a year ago. Yeah. It is one of the coolest cities I have ever been to. The food, the people are the nicest people in the whole wide world, and you live like a queen over there because everything was so cheap. So I'd probably just travel candidly everywhere, but Budapest is one of the coolest places to ever go. I'm like, when we walked outside our apartment, we're eating at 5-star Michelin restaurants for like $20 for like a 4 or 5 course dinner and wine.
Yeah, I never expected Budapest, but that's awesome.
That is awesome.
It's one of the coolest places ever. Like if you haven't gone, I need you all to go.
Okay.
All to go.
Okay, now what do you think of when I say fruit?
Strawberries.
Me too. That's mine. What are you, Ricky? You took too long. Are you grapes for your wine?
Yeah, probably. I like grapes fermented, so.
Okay, there you go. And Ainsley, our last question is, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Mouth noises.
Oh.
You know, like when like people on the mouth, no, do not sit next to me with the mouth noises. My daughter knows it too. She thinks it's really funny. She like smacks her, like no mouth noises. I think there's like an actual, like a phobia. I've heard of it. Yeah.
I've heard of it.
I hate.
Well, thank goodness for math.
I know. Well, we appreciate you being on. You have been a blast. I mean, It's such an encouragement too. Just like, how you've raised your daughter is awesome, but then also what all you have for other people and are offering them with this coaching. Definitely, guys, if you're in direct sales, building a team, check her out. That's her Instagram down at the bottom. And then here's also her website. It's theleadersquadcoaching.com. So definitely get on there, follow her, check out her website. She's got some freebies you can download that you can go ahead and start to use. So get those. Go ahead and take advantage of that as well.
Well, thank you, ladies.
So much. It's been
You're
a
welcome.
having you.
It's been so much fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and make sure you tell your daughter we said good job.
Yes.
She's gonna be really mad she missed it. But
I'm about to check out your TikTok here in a little bit too.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, ladies. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, I gotta get with the program. She is like on it.
Yep.
This distance.
You're raising some good kids too, Robbie.
I know.
Buying them new cars and tearing them up the next day. It's all good.
Tell you what. No, they are good ones. But I did love how she's really made her a part of her business. That was neat to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And her leader squad really is cool. So definitely, I hope that our viewers that are listening and, you know, even thinking about direct sales, things like that, that they check that out because it's great advice.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. Well, Ricky, I know you're going to get back to moving.
Mm-hmm.
Getting right back to it.
We got just touches up to do, but we're going to go piddle around for a minute and then we got to get over there and finish up. So I got my red leggings on today.
Is that what you have on?
I don't even know if I'm going to put up that high.
I've got on like these, it's like the camo metallic. It's got like a little,
Oh,
can you see it?
yeah, but I haven't seen them in person. I need to see them in person.
Yeah, they really do have that little shine to them. Super cute.
Cute.
I don't know if you can tell the like.
You can't. That's what I'm saying. You can't. And I've seen pictures and I can't see it. So
yeah, it's got just like this little shimmery feel. I really like them a lot, and they're a capri link, so I like that. It's
good. Yeah.
Yes, girl. Well, you enjoy the rest of your Thursday. As always, y'all live your best life in leggings.
And go grab some wine too. Drink with me. It'll be just meet me in about an hour, okay, Robbie?
Ricky's already ready. She's like, okay. Bye,
Bye, Robbie. Okay, bye. Okay.